Oh. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you might be, and welcome to this special edition. I say of Books and Beer, it's probably not really, it's just us chatting stuff, and we're doing this because it is our official Set Them Free launch party.
Woo, woo.
Woo!
Congratulations again, my friend.
Cheers, mate.
Nice job.
Cheers. Yes. So, against all odds, the book is out now. It's out today. It's on Amazon, all your Amazon stores. If you just search Set Them Free, we are the top one. I looked at it a few minutes ago, and we're the top one. There's no sneaky 90s dance tunes elbowing their way in front of us on this one. So that's always good.
Despite the powers that be trying to unhinge us on our plans, we've managed to get it out. So good for us.
We've made it. We're here. The book is out. People have bought it. People are reading it as we speak, which is so nice. Yeah. Which is great. So our plan for this evening, for the next little while, is pretty loose, really, but it involves drinking some beer, chatting about the book, and for the first time ever, and I'm really excited to see how this is going to go, inviting some of you beautiful people to join us on the stream, because this software allows you to have up to so many people. We won't have that many. We're just going to have one person at a time, as well as me and Steve. So keep your eyes peeled. We're not going to do this. We'll do this in a few minutes' time. If you are interested in joining us on the call, then, keep your eyes peeled, because we'll be telling you how that's going to work in a minute. Particularly if you're one of the people who was lucky enough, I think, to get the pre-release copy and has read the book already. Or maybe if you've just read Set You Free, then we can ask you about that. But yeah, if you're sort of involved in the Kayla universe, it'll be great to have that conversation.
Absolutely, yeah. Looking forward to chatting to some people for the first time not in the flesh, of course, but in the ether.
Yeah, face to face, screen to screen, as it is.
Rather than just the messages.
Yeah. Oh, we've got some comments flying in already. Thank you if you are jumping in the comments. That's great if you do. We always like to see who's listening. If you want to listen quietly, if you want to listen, surreptitiously, that's okay. But it's always nice to hear what you're doing and where you are.
That's a big word. You must be a writer or something.
You wouldn't guess it, would you? You wouldn't guess it. Fiona says hello. Hi,
Hello,
Fiona.
Slanta.
Alison, how are you doing? Oh, yes. Yeah. Cheers.
And Nick. Hello, Nick. Nice to see you, mate.
And Nick is in here. There we go. Cheers, Nick. And thank you for your review, Nick. I saw you left a review. I think it might have been for Set You Free, or one of them, but it was great. Thank you for that. Oh, and Nick says he's bought Set Them Free 30 minutes ago. Fantastic. Great to hear.
We need to know who somebody left a comment. Hi, guys. 101, or my time it's 101, 701 UK time. Who are you, anonymous Facebook user? Let us know who you are.
Should you want us to know, or maybe you want to be anonymous? That's fine too. That's it. How do you, Steve, then like to sort of celebrate the launch of a book? What's your normal? I know this is the second one we've done together, but prior to that and your other books, how do you celebrate?
Well, actually, this is the third one we've done if you count the novella as well, Set You Free. I think this is my 23rd published title. So that sounds like it would get old, but it never does. It's always a nervous, exciting day. And, it's a day where you can't really focus on other work. So I just relax into it. Have a couple of drinks, because it is an achievement. Every single published book is an achievement. I'm sure that's the same for fiction, non-fiction, short book, long book, whatever. If you've finished a book and published it, it's definitely worthy of a celebration, I think. So yeah, I always like to have a few drinks, but this is great that we did it together so we can chat about it and get some of our lovely, I can't say fans. I don't have an ego, but people who like us enough to buy our books, let's say.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It is just sort of like the end of a journey, isn't it? And I know that word's a bit cheesy, but writing a book is a proper process. From when we first talked about this, it's over 2 years we've been, not working full time on it, but it's been sort of percolating, going through the little grey cells, working its way out in various stages to the book that's now out there, and a load of people on this in the comments have already read, which is great.
So, you know, I always like to celebrate my friends' achievements too, because I have a lot of writer friends, as you do too. So I always tell them, you know, make sure you take a few minutes to enjoy the moment, because it's a big achievement. As Nick just said in the comments, massive achievement by you both. So it kind of is, you know, even though we've done it quite a few times between us, I don't know. I think it's worth celebrating.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just learned who the anonymous Facebook user was, the Dutch one. Hello, Anya.
Oh, it's Anya. But you've been on here before, Anya. I don't know why it's not.
It's either Anya or Ruud Gullit, and not many of you will know who Ruud Gullit is, but the second most famous Dutch person after Anya.
A footballer.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't know then.
Best hair on a football pitch.
Right. Got ya. Oh, we've got a message from Ray as well. Hi, Ray. Good to see you. Thank you for dropping by. Alison says, happy publication day.
Thank you so much.
And
a quick shout out to John. John is my friend here in San Miguel. And those of you who remember, I helped to make Jesus build his bathroom out in the campo. John was an instrumental part of that too. He's really, really helpful.
Hold on, my phone's ringing. I don't know why. It needs to be on silent in the studio.
I'm messaging Leslie because she's asking when it is.
Very unprofessional. Not you. My phone was buzzing, but there you go. No, that's it, isn't it? And that's the beauty of the sort of the game, the game that we're in, the writing that we do, is that we get people from all over the world that are part of the process and enjoy the reading of it. You know, you write your bit in San Miguel, I write it wherever I happen to be, and they go out, you know, hundreds of thousands of miles to various different people. It's quite actually miraculous, isn't it, when you sort of think about it in that way?
It kind of is if you think of it that way. You know, I don't know. At last count, I think I've sold books in 50 countries, which if you'd have asked me when I first started out, could I sell books around the world? I'd be like, no way, that's impossible. If I can sell one to my mom or sell one to a couple of mates in the US or my brother in Australia, that's amazing. But no, I've sold books in something like 40 or 50 countries, which is just, without technology these days, I don't know how we do it.
It is miraculous. Yeah, very, very clever sort of system, you know. And doing things like this, I love it that we've got people on this call from all over the place. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, guys. Quick shout out to my lovely missus. Hello, love. Good morning.
There she is. Happy book launch day. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Thanks, Leslie. Lovely. Thank you.
And we've got someone else saying hi, another incognito Facebook user. Hello, how are you doing?
Good Who are you, anonymous Facebook user? Luke, could you just try to explain that thing where you have to accept the StreamYard thing?
Yes. So because we use a particular bit of software to do this so that we can talk to you and show all the comments and whatever, it's a third-party thing. And on the thing, I'm not doing this very well, am I? On the page where you have our video and we're talking, beneath there, right at the bottom of the text, it will say, press this button to allow StreamYard to use your name. So you press that and then we'll be able to see your name. Facebook will let StreamYard have your information. Otherwise, they won't, and we won't know who it is. Unless you want to just put your name in the comment, so put hi and then in brackets your name. That's fine. If that works for you as well, then yeah, that's a good one.
I'm just looking at the Facebook feed now, and I don't see anywhere that you can do that, but that might just
generally right at the bottom. I've seen it before.
Mm. Oh well, we'll get there one day. We'll work this all out one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we are live on Facebook. That's the main thing. Alison saying that was me in my cap. What do you mean?
I'm not sure. In my
Alison, what do you mean? And no clue why I'm incognito. Oh, the Facebook.
Yeah.
Don't know. Okay. So I would just like to raise a quick toast to Luke for his tremendous work on this next book in the Kayla Stone series. Luke has done another great job. We've put together another book that we hope you guys like, and we just are very grateful that you have taken an interest in our stories. So to Luke, raise your glasses.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. I'll have a cheers to me, and thank you and I'll do the same back to you, mate, for all the inspiration of the ideas, putting the ideas together, coming up with that initial, this has all come out of your Kane series, hasn't it? And all of those sort of themes have followed through. We've obviously written it together. It has been a collaboration in the true sense of the word. And it is a sort of thing that working on a book with someone else is less than half the work. I don't know how that's possible, but it seems like less than half the work because of the way that the ideas just flow more freely, don't they? There's something that might seem a problem to me in the story. I send it to you, and you're just like, right, that's just do it like that. All right, cool. And then the same, you send it back, and I'm like, okay, just do that. All right.
It's the old cliche, two brains are better than one, but actually, when you put two together, it's more like three because
two to the power of two.
Well, you lost the numbers, but because you might be stuck on something, and you might have been stuck on something, but between us, we've then brought a third collaborating brain in. So it's kind of, I really enjoy collaborating, and this has been the one that has so far gone the best because it's the most. But we now have 3 books to our credit. So,
and hopefully, not obviously today we're about dwelling on Set Them Free, and we're about really talking about that and being very positive about that. But we have got another book in the pipeline, which I don't think is going to be that far behind, is it? We're probably talking 3-4 weeks until we'll be back here again.
Well, it's now back on my desk, and I'm going through that next editing phase now. I will be done with my part of it in the next, probably by the end of next week, I'd say. Then we have a very small team of beta readers. It's 2 strong, official ones. So it will go off to them if they are available. You know who you are. But there's no reason I think we can't have this book out within a month for sure.
That's it. And I think I'm really pleased with all 3 of them. And I've just finished recording the audio book for Set You Free. So I'm sort of going back through them again and enjoying them as a reader, actually, because that's one of the really nice things about recording those is you are, and because that was quite a long time ago, I think also because when they come out, I haven't read them generally for a while because that you do the final bit of the phase. I know people listening may not know sort of the intricacies of how we work, but Steve does the final bit. He's like the final proofread, you guys proofread, he puts it all together, he uploads it. So when it comes out, I haven't seen it for a few weeks prior to that. So actually now it's like reading it afresh, like two months ago. And I've got really into the story and really enjoyed it, particularly that final scene in the Land Rover and the bay in Sydney. Whoa, brilliant scene.
No spoilers.
No, not saying what, just...
and just, I don't know if the guys know, Luke is going to be narrating our audiobooks, which is fantastic. Luke's a great narrator too. So looking forward to listening to those myself as a fan, because even though it's our story and I know it intimately, listening to it is a whole different experience. So I should be looking forward to buying those myself.
Yes.
And basically stealing my own money because I won't be taking any.
There will be, we will be giving away copies of Set Him Free on audio as well. So if you haven't read it or you just want to listen to it on audio too, I will be putting that in my newsletter next week. And I don't know if you will be, Steve, but you'll have that, and whether it will be in your newsletter or on your Facebook page or whatever, it'll be there.
Yeah, you'll need to remind me.
If you want that, and that'll be for free because that's like a starter gift to get you into the series. And after that, they'll be available on Audible and iTunes and all the various audiobook stores, Kobo and the like, wherever you want to buy your audiobooks from. So it's going to be good. They're cool. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're interested in joining us live on the show, in inverted commas, show, we're going to actually invite some people in shortly. I'm a little bit sort of yeah, I'm a little bit like, I don't know how this is going to work. It could be great, it could be rubbish. We'll give it a try.
We need a guinea pig. We need someone to offer themselves up as the sacrificial lamb to
to see how it goes. And we're going to do one person at a time, because I think if we got 10 people in, it would just be noisy and it would be unruly, you know. And, you know, that's just me and Steve. We're unruly enough as it is without anyone else.
Noisy though.
Yeah, without anyone else involved. You will need to be sitting somewhere quite quiet so we can hear you. You don't need a particularly good setup. You can just do it on a mobile phone or a smartphone or whatever.
Well, yeah, I certainly don't have a good setup. It's just me on my laptops and it works fine. So
yeah. But I mean, if you've got like the football on in the background or a load of kids running about, you know, try and go somewhere quieter if you want to join us so that we can hear you.
If you've got football,
we'll give it a try. Yeah.
My recommendation is you just go and watch the football, because that's way more interesting than this.
No, I'd rather watch this, but then there you go. Should we do this then? Should we give it a go?
Well,
right.
There's a couple of questions, so why don't we start with Alison's?
Okay.
Got a great question there, but if Alison's prepared to join us in the studio, we can. I don't know how it works, but I'll let you.
Here we go. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see that, Alison. We had quite a flurry of comments, and I missed it.
But if Alison wants to come in and ask the question verbally.
Yeah, is she around?
She's
up for that. Excellent. What I'm going to do, I'm going to post in the comments the link for StreamYard. Now, anyone can click the link they want to. They'll appear in that doesn't get you directly on the air. I have to approve you. So if you, so we'll just have Alison come in for now. But if you want to come in later, it's taking a moment.
Yeah, post your link. There it is. There's the link.
You should see it appear, and if you click that link, you will appear in our studio. Choose your name, choose it logically so we know who you are, because I know we'll recognise Alison, but we may not recognise Facebook user. And then we'll see how this goes. I'm really interested to see.
Leslie, my wife Leslie got back from the kitchen. I'm assuming that means she's got a massive glass of wine to bring to the party.
Sloshing around,
yeah.
Whilst on the phone with us. That's not what you need, is it?
So
we're looking forward to talking to you in a moment, Leslie, though.
Yeah, there's the link, guys. Just follow Luke's instructions, and then Fiona's in as well.
I mean, I can message it directly. That may be easier. It may be easier for me to if someone says they want to do it, I could then message it directly to that person.
Nick's a good lad. Nick's a smart guy. He'll probably have a question or two for us. Bicycle
right.
John Byfield, he may well like to join us too. This is great. We can just get everyone to do the work for us, and we can just sit here and have
I know. It's perfect. Perfect. Right, I've sent that. Listen, I've sent that link directly to you now on Facebook Messenger, so you can just click on there. And then you should appear
so
in an
Luke,
hour.
Do you get a notification that someone's waiting to come into the studio? I'll
see it on my screen. Here we go. She's appeared. I can't see you yet. And if I press this button by the amazing technology... Oh, Leslie's in as well, but we'll come to Alison first. She should appear. There we go.
Oh, good evening.
Hello, Alison.
Hey.
Nice to see you. Nice to be able to talk to you.
How are you, Alison?
Doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you, Steve?
Pretty good, thanks. Can't complain.
Good.
It's all
how are you?
Rush. I only got in from golf 10 minutes before we went live, so I'm still a bit hot and stinky. But...
Oh, right, okay. Right, do you know what? I'm going to have to show you this quickly, because obviously this is why Luke was disturbed. There we go. That's my cap.
Peaky Blinders.
I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like if I could have stuck.
Do you have razor blades in the brim?
Only on occasion.
Okay.
Right. So yes, my question. Characters. How do you both decide who is, the good guy, the bad guy, or anybody in between? And does it make a difference when you write your own book?
Do you mean in terms of the names? The character names?
Yeah.
Well,
it's a good point, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I'm understanding the question correctly, we started out with Natalie Kay as the main character for this story. And as we were writing the first book or two, we kind of, Luke and I just, not sure about it. Just wasn't cool enough. Nothing wrong with Natalie, nothing wrong with Kay, but together they just didn't seem kind of punchy enough, not cool enough. So there's a lady, a female author. She's from Australia, and she's a great author. I don't know her personally, but I just know her from the Facebook group. Her name is Kayla Stone. So So basically, I've just stolen her name, changed it, and I like surnames with one syllable. Stone, obviously, just one syllable. So it's easy to read. It's not too big for the cover, that kind of stuff. So for me, it's just got to sound right. It's just got to sound. And you guys know she's a great feisty, kick-ass character. She needs a name to match. Natalie Kay just wasn't doing it.
And you do get a perception with names, don't you, of what the character's like. And I think this is the case through all sort of literature, books, whatever. You know, even in like Dickens was a master of this, wasn't he? Characters like Uriah Heep, you know, as like some sleazy, nasty character. You know, Ebenezer Scrooge, all these names, and you have to sort of think about what the perception of that name is. And I think with O'Shea as well.
I think with O'Shea, you couldn't call him Bernard, could you?
Couldn't be a Bernard, never.
No.
I mean, I don't even know what his first name is. I can't remember if that's even included.
I don't think we ever discussed it.
We never gave him a first name.
It might be Bernard.
It might be Bernard the books.
Right.
Could he be a Bernard? Yeah, we've never actually discussed his first name. He's just
He's just O'Shea. Or or is that his real name? That's an interesting point. And maybe there's a secret about this coming up.
O'Shea.
All right, okay. That's something for the next book that you might need to add in.
Indeed. Yeah.
Nick's commented in there, brilliant. Ricochet. Very good. Very good.
That's got to be it.
He should probably be a writer too, mate.
Yeah, we've got to do that. We've got to do that. Yeah. Which one, Alison? Which one of our three so far have you enjoyed the most, from a reader's perspective?
I thoroughly enjoyed the novella because, you know, I got to get the character, you know, and what she was about and why she was doing what she was doing.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed book one, but this one was wow. Absolutely wow, because I know there is so much more coming from her as the character. And not just that. I mean, you know, Alex is in there and Steve, fantastic. Love her. I do love Hiram, obviously. But Alex, for me, is such a wonderful, you know, female. I'm not so sure how to pronounce, but you know, she's fun, and I'm so looking forward to the next journey because
that's nice.
You know, it's only going to get better and better, and you know, with both you collaborating, it just shows with every book how strong she's going to get.
Well, thank you so much. That's lovely. We agree, and we had a chat about it on our call on Wednesday. Luke and I do think we're going to take this series on to at least another. Well, the series as it exists now, there's one more coming in about a month, but we have already had a quick chat. There's going to be probably at least 3 more, we think. So that'll be 7 in total.
The titles of which we're not sure, because if we continue with the same theme, I mean, you asked about titles a minute ago, Alison, or a few minutes ago. We're not sure quite how they could go, because we said set us free, didn't we? That could be one.
Set us free, set her free. We haven't done set her free.
Yeah.
And then we're struggling because we're running out of pronouns. So
set him free we've had already. Yeah. So maybe the second
set yourself
has to have a different convention in the title.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. But it's a good question. Thank you for it. think someone's just being murdered across my neighbour's
Yeah, you can't quite tell where the noise is.
That's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
I thought that was your, bell ringing for your free beer or something coming through.
Nobody, I have to serve myself. There's no one here to serve me. So.
Oh, nice. What beer is that, by the way? And what are you drinking, Alison, importantly?
I've got...
right. Yeah, sorry. No beer. I have got...
Oh, nice. A Rioja.
Nice. Drinking from the bottle again.
Yeah.
I'm drinking Victoria.
Oh, and now you've said it, I'm going to have a sip.
Yeah, cheers. I'm drinking Victoria, which obviously in English is victory, and that does not represent my game of golf this morning, I'm afraid. So.
Oh dear, did it go badly?
It was. There's always next week.
Huh?
There's always next week. I didn't play.
Did you get the old golf joke book out that I sent you?
I haven't yet, I'm afraid, but I will. I'm looking forward to getting that. Yeah, thank you for that.
A golf joke book. Interesting.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Alison, it's been lovely to talk to you in face to face. Stick around, and we may have you back on in a few minutes' time. If you've got any more questions or maybe
at the end you want to free for all at the end.
It's lovely to sort of meet you both in sort of person.
Yeah, cool.
Absolutely. So if I press this button, thanks, Alison.
That's okay.
You should disappear. There we go. And it's back to me and you. Let's have a quick look over at the comments, and then we'll have a chat with Leslie. And Alison, you're in the thingy room now, in the waiting room. You can stay there if you want. That's fine, or you can close it and go back and watch in the normal way. I think it's up to you. So Nick says, in terms of the titles, take the free word and rebuild that from that root. Yeah. So we could change the word free. So set something else.
Free them all, or free something. Free Willy. Free beer.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I have had one person on my mailing list who obviously doesn't read very well. Emailed, not today, for the last release, and saying, well, the book's not free. And I said, no, it's not. You're right.
But it's cheap at half the price.
Oh,
free to kill, free to destroy.
Ray says, from Southeast Michigan, congratulations on the launch despite the issue.
Thanks,
Are you
Ray.
thinking of bundling the novella books 1, 2, and 3 later?
Yes.
If you did go to 7 books, bundling it may not work.
Well,
yes, exactly.
That's 2 bundles.
Yeah, that'll be 2.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Ray, if you want to come on and join us live in a minute, you're gonna be lovely to see you.
I think it might be my missus next. Could it be? Could it be?
All right. Welcome, Leslie. Good to see you. Hello.
Hi,
she's not on her own.
Love.
I brought Charles Dickens to say hi.
Hey, Charlie.
He's very proud of your book.
Oh, thanks, Charles.
He just wanted to come on for a little cameo appearance.
Here he
but
is.
He's trying to get down, so I better let him go.
Okay.
I better set him free.
Boy. Set him
free.
Pardon?
I was going to say you should be a writer too, but you are.
I should be a writer.
Yeah, but you are.
I want to say congratulations to you guys for your launch day. So cheers.
Cheers, love.
Thank you.
I'm very happy.
Leslie?
Thanks, darling.
I'm drinking Sauvignon Blanc. I'm supposed to be working, but I thought I'd take a mini break. And
it's only 11:30 in the morning for you.
I know. I still have a long day of work to go. So I think I'll have only one drink with you. But I just wanted to come on, say congratulations. And gosh, I don't even know what questions to ask you. But I'm sure you've talked before a lot about your collaboration. But what would you say is the hardest part about collaborating? Or the most challenging?
For me, it's an easy question. It's when I have to send Luke money at the end of each month. I don't like that part.
Nice.
I think one of the hardest bits of it is that although it takes less time in terms of time you're actually working on it. It takes longer in terms of the fact that when Steve sends me the thing that he wants me to do, I'm working on something else and I have to finish that and get to it in a week's time or whatever, and vice versa. Okay. So actually that book can sit quite a long time in an email inbox waiting for the person to actually get to it. And if you're working on a book on your own, you don't do that because you're like, right, I'm going to do this until it's finished. Yeah. You know, so I definitely think it's a slower process from start to end, isn't it? But quicker in terms of actual hours, fingers on keyboard. You know. It is, yeah.
But it's worth it because it's stressful to do any writing projects alone. Leslie will know this too. So when some of the pressure is eased because you're sharing the load, from Lord of the Rings. But yeah, that's true though. Even though the actual hours spent on the job is less, it still takes longer to do because of other projects and that kind of stuff. But yeah, good question.
I'm just curious. Yeah, it's so interesting because personally, I feel like I'd have a really hard time collaborating because I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I would be worried the other person wouldn't do it as well as I wanted them to. So I just have one more question, just because I'm really curious about the collaboration process. Have you guys ever argued about any of the points in the book?
Oh, Steve's put up with me being stressed about things a couple of times. I've emailed him saying, this isn't going right, I can't do it, you know, and he's gone, it's okay, calm down, it'll be fine. Okay. You know, it'll be great, don't worry.
I'm very rarely the calmest in a collaboration, but no, we're good friends and we have a mutual respect for each other's work and ideas, so no arguments at all. I just have to tell Luke to shut it a couple of times. That's all right. I'm older. He might be a bit bigger, but I'm older, so I'm in charge.
But I also think that comes with knowing that, you know, I send it to you and know that you know what you do. I don't have to. I don't check what you do, and you don't check what I do. Really, you know, there's a sort of mutual understanding, isn't there, in what we know, what the other person does, and have the belief in that the other person will do a good job when they get to it. You know,
you guys probably know this. I approached Luke about this series. I wanted to work with Luke on this series, and I chose him for a reason. It's because I knew how good he was, and I knew I'd read a couple of his own books, and I thought he would be a great guy to work with, and it's been proven correct. So, it's a real pleasure to work with Luke. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I still end up spending money though.
Well, it sounds like you guys get along very well, and you obviously are doing great work with your collaborations. So cheers again.
Thanks very much.
Cheers. Cheers. I need to go to the fridge.
I've got cheers.
Look at that.
Oh no!
Great to see you, Leslie. Thanks for popping by.
Good to see you guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Oh, bless her. Yeah, love it. Oh, this is good fun, isn't it? It's working quite seamlessly, actually.
Yeah.
So far. Yeah. So, if you want to be the next victim, volunteer, drop a hello in the comments, or say me in the comments, and I will send you the link that you need to do that. Before we do that,
Luke, I think you mentioned you need to go to the fridge.
Yes.
And if it's okay with everybody, I need to run off for a few seconds too, because I got in from golf 10 minutes before we went live, and I just need to go to.
Well, we should probably not both run off at the same time. I think we should probably.
Yeah, I'll be 30 seconds.
Okay, you go first, and then I'll go after. In fact, what I can do, Steve, I can take you off the stream. There we go, and then I can just talk for a bit, and then Steve will come back. He can still hear what I'm saying, mind you, so it's not like I'm getting away with anything. But no. So interestingly, I'm now in Guildford, a town in Surrey. A town in Surrey, looking after a cat called Bodhi. There she is over there. Oh, Steve back there. She's scratching the sofa. Come here. She spent the day lying. Nice for her, you know. So I think Fiona's going to be the next one joining us. Right, I will send you over the link now. There we go, and obviously I've sent it to you in a private message, Fiona, so just press that when you appear and we'll see you. Yes, Leslie's asked if I'm house sitting. Yes, I am. In fact, it was Steve and Leslie that got me into the house sitting website, because I heard that you guys had done it when you were over in the UK last year or the year before, and I asked Steve where you went, and he pointed me in the website. And this, I think, is the 4th one I've done. I did one last summer in somewhere near Oxford, and then I did the one in Riga in November. Oh, Steve's back. Then I did the one in, where did I go 2 weeks ago? Oh, London, and then I'm here, and then I'm going to Bristol after this. Sorry?
Sound is gone.
Hear me? Oh,
no.
Huh. Let me double check. Hello? It says I am. People in the comments, just say yes if you can hear me, please. That would be good.
No sound.
Steve says he can't hear me. No. Hold on, mate. Stick with it. We'll sort it out. Yeah, everyone at home can hear me. I don't know what Steve is. Let me check, Steve. Yeah, people that can hear me, mate. I think it's just you. I can hear you. But you can't hear me. Oh, no. Nightmare. Steve can't hear me, but I assume he's seen in the comments what we're doing. Yeah.
Just me then. I can't hear anything.
No. Right. I'll tell you what, mate. You can't hear me, can he? Right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of him. I'm going to kick him out, and then he's going to come back in. Hold on. Kick from studio. Kick guest. There we go. Steve's gone. And then I'll write a message to him to tell him to come back in. This is... I know. Kick him out. Start again. And I just said, hadn't I, about 30 seconds ago, that it looks like it was... that there wasn't any issues and it was going really nicely. So... There we go. It's all good fun. It's all good fun in this live thing that we're doing. So if you've just joined us, it's always nice to have a recap, isn't it, if you have just joined us. Welcome to the Set Them Free launch party. Thank you so much for stopping by. What this intended to be is me and Steve, although Steve's having technical issues, or Fiona's in as well, so I'll talk to her in a moment. What it's intended to be is a bit of a sort of get-together to celebrate the launch of our book, Set Them Free, which came out officially today. It's been out for a couple of days unofficially, as you may or may not know, but it came out officially today, and it follows the adventures of Kayla Stone and what she gets up to in Dubai. And we're having, excitingly, for the first time on the call today, various people, you guys who are watching, we're talking to you about what you thought of the book, whether you enjoyed it, which book you preferred, what you think of our series in general, because we thought it was just an interesting thing to do. In fact, Steve suggested it in our chat on Wednesday without me having any idea of what he was doing. He just said, right, we're doing this. And I thought, okay, let's give it a try. And then he's gone to leave me to do it myself, which is fine. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. Right, Fiona's here. We're going to have a chat with her about what she thought of Set Them Free. Hello, Fiona. How you doing?
Torture.
There you are. Good to see you in the flesh.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah, what are you drinking there?
Prosecco. We're celebrating.
Amazing. Love it. Love it. Any excuse, indeed. Yeah. Oh, I'm just seeing what Steve's saying. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Did you enjoy it? Because you read one pre-release, didn't you?
I love this series. It's absolutely fabulous. It's so lovely to have a feisty female hero for a change. It's really nice. We have sort of modelled her on a line of feisty female heroes. You know, Steve's got Alexandra Ridley in his books, and we sort of thought about Lisbeth Salander from the Girl Who Kicks the Hornet Nest and all those books was one of our what would you say, one of our sort of inspirations for the series. Yes. Which
one of the books has been your favourite so far?
Oh gosh, whichever one I happened to be reading at the time. The last one was great. I don't know, they just keep you on the edge of your seat.
and you want the next one immediately.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. What would you like to see happen in one of the future ones? And I'm going to try not to give anything away here by saying anything.
Well, I'm not
by like showing.
I don't have your imagination for coming up with plots, so I don't really know. I love being surprised. So
cool. And what places did you think? Because you had some great suggestions when we talked about this on Wednesday, didn't we?
I suggested south of France because of I know the contrast between the very rich people and the sort of underbelly that is also there. But I also thought even the Republic of Ireland, because O'Shea has the Irish connections, you might like to get involved with, well, not involved with the Irish mafia scene, because it's quite bad these days. So there's a lot of. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Fiona.
Hi.
Hey.
Nice to meet you. I have no idea what happened there, but
he's back.
Well.
Yeah, right. I'm going to go to the fridge, Steve, as you're back, because you've had your time to knit to the fridge. I'm going to do the same.
Okay.
I'll be back in a minute.
And I'm going to rely on Fiona to tell me what I've missed.
Well, we were just discussing places that your next book might go. So I was making suggestions of south of France, like I did the other day, or maybe the Republic of Ireland, because O'Shea is Irish. And there's quite a scene of Irish mafia. You'd be surprised.
Actually, I have to tell you, I don't know if this is... Cheers, by the way. Cheers. What is that? Vino?
Slauncher. You right, yeah. Slauncher.
Slauncher, yeah.
Slauncher.
So, actually, O'Shea is Northern Irish. I don't know if we've mentioned it in the book so far, but he's a Northern Irishman.
He could come over and get involved in Southern Ireland stuff as well, because I gather they move up and down, particularly with trafficking people. They keep going across the border to avoid the police and the Gardaí. I've been reading real life reports of that recently. So they move from one safe house to another, and they use the border as a clever way of avoiding, say, the British police or the Southern Gardaí.
Right. Well, I'm all for that. I'm certainly not against that. Luke and I'd have to have a discussion about that, but it's a good idea.
It may not be as saleable to your American friends from what you were saying, but
it's something that we have to consider. But it's not. At the end of the day, if the story's good enough, it doesn't matter really. But
it was just personal knowledge of it that made me suggest it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think what I like about that. Go on, Steve.
Anyone would think you're angling to have a character named after Fiona.
Don't have to do that.
Why not?
What I like about that is there's a sort of perception of Ireland that it isn't like that. That it's a very nice, wholesome place, isn't there? And I've tried to do that, or we've tried to do that in our books so far, haven't we? That you see a place as one thing, but then when Kayla sort of gets beneath the surface, it actually turns out to be something else. And I think that's a good.
Ireland is definitely like that. There's a lot of things going on to the surface that you probably only see or read about if you're local. You know, it's sort of not the outside perception at all. But
as one of our catchphrases on the first book, I think. I've got to correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something like, even the shiniest cities have their
darkest secrets.
So I think that applies to anywhere, really. Honestly.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I wonder though. All of my books so far, including the ones that we've written together, Steve, have been set in cities, like big, sprawling, dirty cities. And I wonder whether I would find it challenging. I think I would. I don't know how I'd go about it. Setting a story in a more rural location. It's not because I don't have experience of rural locations. I do. I grew up in quite a small village. But it's, and there are a whole load of books, aren't there? But I suppose they're more mysteries that are set in. You don't get many thrillers set in rural places, other than perhaps your Nordic things, which are set in.
Yeah, I think it's because the cities are famous. They have landmarks, and you can throw a Sydney Harbour Bridge in, or Sydney Harbour, or and my books, as you guys know, are all set in kind of famous places. That does make it a bit easier, right, from a setting point of view. But I don't think there's any reason we couldn't do that. We just have to, I mean, work a bit harder and Google a bit better, and or rely on local knowledge, perhaps. Bring a team of experts in.
That's it. Or go on a recce. Go and find out.
Well, go to Dublin, over there. Go to Dublin or Belfast.
Yeah, that's it. I've never been to Belfast. I have been to Dublin, but only for 3 or 4 days, not extensively at all.
I was just looking at Ray's comment in Alaska. I think Leslie and I might be heading to Alaska in a couple of months.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it might be. There's a rumour.
Yeah.
How brilliant.
And it would do, wouldn't it?
So how do you guys come up with the plot of a book? Steve, is that you? You think?
Hold on. We have a plot.
The plot. How do
you lost me at plot. Easy. Missing girl. Better, stronger girl finds missing girl. The end.
No, there's a.
I'm sure it's not that simple.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? Like, I don't think we really sat down with like a crib sheet of how a plot of a story goes, did we? We just sort of threw ideas around, and I remember we were sat in that house sit that you had up in Richmond, and we were just what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And just scribbling notes and coming up with ideas.
There are many tried and tested formulas for setting out a story. You guys probably have heard of the hero's journey or the save the cat journey. These are stages of a story that you must hit to keep the thing going. But I think Luke and I both agree. I don't think that's necessary if your characters are compelling, the MacGuffin or the end, the prize at the end of the story is compelling, whether that be a Hiram Caine book, The Lost City in Peru, whether it be the kidnapped child. There's always something to go after. The hero needs to get the prize, whatever that is. And as long as the characters are compelling, and as long as the settings are nice, and the story moves along at a good enough pace, I'm not too worried about those tried and tested formulas myself. Certainly not against them, but I just haven't especially used them myself. And Luke and I have these brainstorming sessions. But basically, I'm storming his brain, usually over a few pints.
There's normally
just back and forth. I have the seed of the idea, then I hit Luke with it, and we go back. And that's kind of one of the funnest things about it, because we've been lucky enough to have met up in person a few times now, usually over a couple of nights up in Yorkshire, or we did it in Sheffield one time. And it's just a really fun thing to do, hanging out with good people, talking about books and beer and stories and stuff like that. So
that is essentially it. That is essentially it. It's good fun. No, I mean, and I look forward to when we do get going on the next 3. Hopefully, we'll be able to. In fact, I think we need to do the sort of planning of those in person somehow. I don't know, maybe when you're over in the UK, or I'll make it over there at some point, but. Yeah, and that gives us an excuse to make that trip.
We were supposed to be doing this book launch in person, but I think some of these guys know my flights to the UK had been cancelled 5 times, out of my control. So at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? I can't risk it. I can't risk, because I would be going to go house sitting for my friend, and imagine if my last minute flight got cancelled, that would then impact their trip, and then the same for the person coming. So we've just postponed my trip for now. So, but I do think that we should. What I mean?
Your poor mom.
It's mom. Yeah, she's okay. But actually, I'm going to go up to visit Leslie in a few weeks, and we're going to bring my mum over for a trip to the US instead.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what we're going to do instead. So, yeah.
Okay. Gets to see you. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, there are better things to come to the US to see. I guess I'm on the list. She'll be happy. She might even be listening. Are you listening, Mom? Are you there somewhere in the background?
She normally does, doesn't she? Quite often tunes in. Yeah. Oh, Fiona, thanks so much for jumping in.
Yeah,
it's lovely to meet you.
Talk to you
like this.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stop around, and if you want to.
sorry, I just want to thank you for your promotions on your Book Nook page on Facebook.
Yes.
Oh, you're more than welcome anytime.
And also, I want to thank Alison for the same. Alison's a great sharer of books.
Yes,
so,
she really is. Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Page too. So.
Yeah, and if you're not already, make sure you go and get on Fiona's. Is it Fiona's Book Nook? It's called.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Make sure you go and get on there, and Fiona talks about our books and other books as well. There are other books available, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So cool. Thanks so much. See you shortly,
guys.
Cheers.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I love it. Oh, this is good fun, mate. I'm not gonna jinx anything by saying how great it's working, but
you just did.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't know. Right. Mine just got out for a moment. There is a storm, so maybe it's just the weather. I don't know.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Steve did say on Wednesday that we were thinking of coming to Europe. Yes, I think he means in terms of the books. I think Alison means in terms of the books, not in terms of you personally.
Well, no, I am. Leslie and I are supposed to be there now for a few reasons. Visit Mum, and also it was London Book Fair and the SPF Book Fair. That, those are in June usually. Yeah. No, they've been in.
No, they're in February.
Right, but they were supposed to be in June this year, but then they all cancelled again. So, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be coming this year now. But who knows? Who knows? If
the last year's taught us anything, it's that nothing goes quite as you expect it to.
If my whole life has taught me anything, it's that I never know what to expect.
Yes, exactly. Nick says most of the Lee Child books are set in small towns and rural communities. Yeah, good point.
But he is Lee Child, and he can do anything he wants.
Yes, true. I mean, I wasn't saying that you can't have a thriller in a rural community. I was just thinking that I would find it more difficult. Do you know what I mean? Because everything is a little bit slower, but maybe it would just be more. Maybe it would just take more skill, or it's a different skill, not more skill. It would just be a different thing.
I don't know about the guys listening to this, but let's be honest. L.J. Ross, who I happen to know a little bit personally, Louise Ross, one of the most successful indies there's ever been. And all of her books are set in the most rural places, and they're all in Northumberland. They're just Sycamore Gap. It's just a place on Hadrian's Wall out in the country, and she does.
But they're more sort of mystery, police, detective novels than.
That's true. They are.
Write. That's what I was thinking. Like I know there's quite a lot of detective novels set, like the classic Midsummer Murder types, all the sort of small town murder. That's a whole genre in itself, isn't it? There's a lot of those, or small town police, police person moves from big city to rural area thinking it's going to be an easy job, but it's not because there's a killer on the loose. That's like 90% of all crime books ever, but thrillers like we write are much, in my experience, are more set in urban areas. And I know there's examples like Nick has just said where that's not the case, but in the ones I've read, certainly I think they're more in that.
Yeah,
and I don't know whether that's just because there's more of a sort of seedy side of an urban place as opposed to a countryside. I don't know.
But you know what? I think I would back us. I think I would back our ability to bring the setting to life regardless of where it was.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think maybe there's a challenge there then. We've got to set it in a rural place, wherever that might be. Rural Alaska, Iceland. That'd be a cool place, wouldn't it? Iceland.
Yeah.
Somewhere like that. Maybe a Nordic place,
Ray's mentioned Lolo Page there. This is just a quick shout out. I've just recently edited one of Lolo's books, and it's brilliant. I just wanted to say that.
One. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that one there. From this side of the pond, the last frontier of Alaska. Lolo Page. Got you right. So Lolo Page is another thriller author.
Yeah, in her book, she's the main character is like a wildfire fighter out in Alaska. It was really good. I really enjoyed editing that book. Fantastic.
Nice. Ray says, hook up with Lolo, Steve, and Leslie plan to go to Alaska. She's in Anchorage. Right.
I think we're going on a cruise though, maybe. So probably not going to be able to spend any time on the ground so much,
Yeah, that's true. Actually, the Tomlinson and Thacker thrillers are set in all sorts of places, aren't they? You know, they're maybe I think there's a challenge for us there, and I'd like to give that a go, to be honest.
If only someone knew someone who was working on a trilogy with Nick Thacker. If only one of us knew someone who was doing that.
I know. If only. Facebook user says the Netherlands. No guessing who that might be. No.
The Dutch one.
Yeah. And she goes on to say, you can't get more rural than that. Right. Is there any... do you fancy joining us here on the sofa for this very special Set Them Free launch party? We've still got Alison and Fiona hanging out in the green room. I can see them backstage, and we may talk to them again in a little while. Yeah, of course, mate. If you've got to do it, you're going to do it properly. But before we do that, if you would like to, not you, Steve, like you at home, if you would like to join us, drop me in the comments, and I will send you over the link to get in there. And
Nick Snowden said he would join us for a question. Nick's
right.
Still there. How about you, John? Bicycle John, are you still there?
Yeah, if you want to. There's no pressure one way or the other. Nick says me. All right then, Steve. So I don't think I'm friends with Nick, so you'll probably have to send the link.
Okay.
You're able to do that. It's the same one as I sent you earlier.
Oh, okay. Bear with me a moment.
You can just copy that and send that over. Whilst you do, I'm going to pick up my top up my beer. I'm having a Shipyard IPA. It actually matches the wall, doesn't it? What are the
good beer,
chances of that? Yeah, really nice beer. So I'm enjoying that. I had a Whitstable Bay first, and now I'm having this one. I think it's probably a 2 or 3 beer broadcast, this one.
Is it? I've got 2 Kawamas. Those are 3 pint
hefty bottles.
3 pint bottles.
3 pints. This is, this is a pint, I think. Is it 500, half a litre? So that's about a pint.
Nick, I've just sent you the link to your messenger, so you should see that. I think you've already seen it.
There you go, Nick. So if you press that, and if you're listening at home and think, I'd like to come in, I'd like to chat about books, then yeah, that'd be cool. Come and join us. It's like some phone-in show on late night radio, isn't it? Who'd have thought it?
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, that's it. That would be a great setting. I think some thriller that involves like a late night American radio station would be a great setting. Out in the desert,
Well, if you remember, you're a very young man, Luke, but most of our readers are not as young as you. So, The Fog, that great classic horror movie from probably the 80s, maybe the 70s, that was revolved around a late night radio call set in a lighthouse. Most terrifying movie I've ever seen.
See, that sounds...
There's been a newer version a few years ago, which was garbage compared to the original. Nice. But I highly recommend it. It's so good.
Yeah. Right, well, Nick's in the green room. Let's have a chat with him.
Good.
Let's have a chat with him.
I highly recommend it.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Good evening.
Yeah, right. Hello. Have a chat with him. Let's have a chat with him. Oh, Nick, I can hear
Good evening.
Hello. Oh, right. And Nick, I've had to mute you because I can hear us coming back. So you need to... I think you've got some speakers on or something with the sound coming back. It was starting to sort of howl around. Hello?
Was that better now?
I think so. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I don't know.
I can't hear any feedback now, whereas I could a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it's good.
That sounds good to me. I heard it coming. I was like, what's going on? How are you keeping? Are you well?
I'm great. I've just got the second book today. I haven't read it yet. But also, I didn't know about the novella, so I need to download that as well.
Very original title.
Before I read Set Them Free. That might be good.
Yeah, it's not
really...
really...
learn, don't they?
Yeah, not necessary, but why not? It's a short read. It's only an hour or two read, so yeah. Appreciate your support for buying the books. Thank you.
No, it's great. Yeah. I mean, you were kind to me when we talked about Mexico last month, and then the other book came out, so I wanted to read it straight away, and I loved it. Couldn't put it down.
Yeah, you did say that to me first, which was very nice. Nick and I had a chat about a month or so ago for an hour or so about life in Mexico and a bit of writing stuff. Lovely fella. What a lovely fella you are.
Where are you based, Nick?
I'm in Yorkshire.
Okay.
Hey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why I'm drinking Polish beer, I don't know.
I quite like that one. That's a good beer.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Yeah, one of my tenants bought me a case of them last week, which was quite nice.
Oh, very nice. You keep those. Keep those, guys.
Yeah. I'll do him a deal on his rent. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. For a few beers coming back.
Nick, do you have Sorry, Luke. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to ask Nick about the books he normally reads. You know, what's your sort of normal genre that you read?
That was way better than my question.
I loved all the Swedish ones by Henning Mankell.
Oh, Wallander.
And I was brokenhearted when he ended the death of the character. I thought those books, and again, those books, they're all set in small towns. They're all rural locations or small communities. But I don't think that does anything negative to the reading experience. And I think, in a way, it gives more subtlety to the characters that you can invent, whether they are small town, I don't know, gossips or police officers, or, you know, he's used bird watchers, he's used fishermen, he's used people who are caretakers of private islands in his characters, and they're all amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I have to say, my buddy Pete Ross here in San Miguel, Canadian guy, we just had his book launch party on Wednesday in town.
Okay.
And his book, which is absolutely fantastic, honestly, really good, that is set on a small lake in northern Ontario. This population of about, 1,000. But within that 1,000 people, there are 4 or 5 fantastic characters that really bring that story to life. So actually, when you think about it, it's just about character rather than landmark.
The other thing about books like those is the landscape becomes a character.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All of Ellie Griffith's books, I've just been working through those this spring. She writes about Norfolk, which everybody sees as a cute, absolutely. Everybody sees as a cute holiday destination, but they forget the seedy seaside towns. They forget the corrupt developers and all the hidden history, which is also the archaeological stuff, which she does a lot of commentary on.
Yeah,
and that works really well. But the landscape becomes part of the book.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're absolutely right, and that really does give us something to think about, doesn't it? As to, I think they're a little more subtle, though, aren't they? There's more subtlety to it when you've got less where the landscape is more void of stuff, but other places there's more subtlety to the characters and the events.
Do you think the landscape then reflects the pace of the story? It's
certainly, because if you look at a lot of Swedish crime novels, Wallander, I know, is Wallander Swedish? I think it might be.
Yeah, Wallander. Yeah.
The pace of them is quite not. I don't want to say slow in a negative way, but they move at a slow pace, because Wallander he goes down lots of wrong paths, doesn't he? He gets to the end at the end, but quite often there's 5 or 6 wrong turns on the way, isn't there?
But his are a bit like cozy mysteries, but with extreme violence out of nowhere, and then it goes back to an innocent rural landscape.
You could almost say the same thing for the girl with the dragon tattoo is the same. It was just on that tiny island outside of any cities, and there's some pretty extreme moments in that movie. Well, the book too, obviously, but the movie is more visual. So, but it's rural, and that makes the story, because he goes to that island to help write that memoir.
Yes,
actually chasing down the bad guys. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, really, really great. I mean, they're great books. Like that, you can't.
And that brings our mate Stephen Sausage Taylor. He keeps saying about writing a book in Norwich. Well, Norwich is where I went to school.
Yeah,
and it was a great, and you've got towns north of Norwich on the North Norfolk coast, which I know very, very well because I grew up in that area. So that really would be a great place for a slow burn kind of girl with dragon tattoo type series. I think,
but you can still have really strong action scenes in it,
Yeah.
Which are completely in contrast to what people are expecting from the landscape.
Yeah.
Give it a try. Yeah. I'll buy them.
I think we will. I think we're going to have to. I think
there's an L.J. Ross knockoff, and I can't say knockoff because the guy's a good writer, and I've forgotten his name now.
Homage.
What's that? Sorry.
No, I'm saying the word is homage, not knockoff.
Right.
Yeah, homage. Yeah.
Yeah, you're obviously smarter than I am because Anyway, but he's also like mimicked the covers, mimicked everything about her last 5 or 6 years of writing books. But he's set them all around the Norfolk Broads, which is a spectacular part of the world. That's where I grew up, and he's been very successful too. And obviously that's super rural. There's nothing. There's only 2 towns in Norfolk and Suffolk, more than 50,000 people. So Ipswich and Norwich.
Yeah.
Well, we know there's a famous serial killer in Ipswich about 10 years ago, who going around killing all the prostitutes. So it's pretty rural.
Yeah.
That's true, isn't it? And that was a really interesting story, wasn't it? I remember that.
Maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, good questions though. I mean, and good point. Now I'm sort of.
You got your work cut out. Yeah.
Oh, well, as if we didn't already.
If you don't, I will, because I want to get into fiction now.
Yeah, you should.
I like the non-fiction, but I want to create some mysteries.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Have you written books before then, Nick, in non-fiction?
Yeah, but all of mine are non-fiction. So my best 2 are one's about decluttering your house, and the other one's recently called 10-Minute Budget.
Oh, cool.
And I like those, and I find them easy to create and easy to develop.
Nick Sturgeon is the Yorkshire Marie Kondo.
Absolutely, that's it. Yeah. I bring you joy.
Leslie will be all over that. Leslie's now on Amazon now searching for your book, I'm sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, brilliant. That's great. I think that's a great thing. And I'm thinking now, Steve, I'm wondering about some of the most desolate places in the planet, Like, I'm not thinking like Norfolk Broads. I'm thinking like a collection of a dozen houses in the middle of Australia, 1,000 miles from any other civilization, or something like that, or like in the middle of some other place that's very desolate, or up on, as you say, in Alaska, or in the northern wildernesses of Canada or Russia or Siberia or wherever, like.
Well, you could have some more in San Miguel.
You're in San Miguel, yeah.
It's not very desolate here. It took me an hour to get home from golf in the traffic today.
Okay.
I know.
Love it. Oh, Nick, thank you so much for stopping in. It's been great.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and it's great to watch you both.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoy the book. Let us know how you get on.
Don't be a stranger
this weekend and do a review on Sunday evening. Yeah.
Oh, bless you so much. Thank you.
Thanks,
thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate.
All right. If you've just joined us, welcome. In fact, I know someone's just joined us. Andrew has just joined us. Hello, Andrew. He says he's late to the party, but congratulations. Cheers, mate. I know it's early. It must be lunchtime for you, Andrew. Over in the States. I can't remember.
Where's Andrew?
What state you're in. I can't remember. Somewhere where it's about 11 o'clock in the morning, though. I think.
I think that's technically impossible because I know Leslie's on the Pacific coast. It's now 12.
Okay, about 12 then. About 12.
Hawaii would be 9 in the morning. So.
Yeah, right. So we're having a bit of a party, bit of a get together to celebrate Set Them Free's launch. It's out today officially, although it's been sneakily out for a couple of days. Which has been really good fun. We've had a few guests join us. We've still got Fiona and Alison in the green room. I can see hanging out, sipping the champagne and eating the canapes. And maybe we'll have them back in a minute. Andrew says it's 1 in the afternoon for him. So he's watching on YouTube as well, so you can watch this on YouTube if you want. You don't have to do it on Facebook.
1 o'clock. Yeah. Where are you, Andrew? 1 o'clock. Huh. Don't know where that could be.
Somewhere central.
That's a time zone I didn't know existed.
Oh, sure. Every time zone exists, I think.
I think John might have a question for us. John Byfield.
Where is it? Still here.
Oh, John, do you need the link?
Oh, is John coming in? Is John joining us?
Well, I think maybe he wants to. John, let's see.
Andrew is in Mountain Standard. I don't know where that is, Andrew. That should be. But I know we've spoken a couple of times.
I think that's Colorado.
Colorado, right. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah.
John, I just sent you a link in Facebook Messenger if you want to join us for a quick chat.
Cool. While we wait, should we have a conversation with Alison or Fiona again? Should we say hello to them?
Yeah.
Alison, are you ready? Are you?
Can we get them both in at the same time?
Are you loaded? Yeah, okay, let's get them both in.
Enough?
Give me a thumbs up, ladies, if you're ready. I don't just want to throw you on air without it. Fiona says yes. Alison, are you ready to come on? She's not saying anything.
Oh,
I'm going to do it anyway. She won't mind.
Right, yes.
Okay. Oh, look at this.
There you
It's a
go.
cool pattern.
Hi, Fiona.
hi, Alison.
Hi.
Nice to talk to you.
What a lovely community it is, isn't it?
I know. This is so
This
nice.
is so fantastic because obviously, chatting to Steve for the last 3 years at least. And then Luke for a couple of years and Fiona probably for the last year or so. And it's so lovely to actually meet everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
We know you guys all know Billy from the original virtual book club. I've had a chat with him on a Zoom call. He's a lovely guy too. We should try and get him involved.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
it's just so. I suppose everything has been bizarre, isn't it? But the last year and a half that you want to communicate with people and meet people and sign books and events and things, and it's not happened. But this, I think this is such a wonderful thing to do that just get everyone connected.
Yeah, and it's almost connecting across seas, borders, continents, isn't it? Because I know Alison, you and I don't live a million miles away, and Fiona, when she's in England, doesn't live a million miles away. But the fact we can do it at any time and any place, I think, is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Again, technology, brilliant. What a cool thing. What a great thing.
Yeah, agreed. And someone young enough to work it.
To press the buttons.
Well, don't, because I had to get my my son to actually get this done for me.
Fun trying to
Yeah, I'm not very good.
Sorry, Fiona, what did you say? You cut out then.
I said it was a lot of fun trying to get into the conversation, and I don't have a handy son here at the moment.
So you're still over.
My son,
you're
Luke,
still in Ireland at the moment, Fiona, I assume.
They're all in England. Yeah.
Your son and your husband are over in England. Your sons and your husband.
One son at home living with my husband, and another 2 sons living independently. One's in Manchester. He's an A&E nurse. And the other one is working in a school in London.
Wow.
Oh, well, you got to high five.
Yeah,
high five, because, the NHS, as you know, in the UK has been really struggling.
Yeah.
And,
heroes, one and all.
You've got to bow down to everyone that's involved.
Yeah. I don't know how he does stories, and I have no idea how he copes at all, to be honest. Yeah.
It really.
Yeah, my son's fiance is an A&E nurse at Norwich. She is. I mean, the amount of hours and days that she does is unbelievable, and we can just, all of the NHS, regardless of where you are, and of course, I'm not too sure about Steve, but you know, with your COVID jabs and things, but it's absolutely amazing the work that they do.
I'm not a royalist. I don't mind saying it, but I think that all NHS workers and frontline workers in the UK, when COVID is done, should all become members of the British Empire. And I don't actually like that distinction, but they will deserve something, some kind of recognition for.
But they could do with the raise, to be honest. That's the main thing. They're not even the raise in you know, with the cost of living. So
yeah, they should get something, some kind of like, obviously a raise, but that's unlikely to happen because we know who's in government. But Purple Heart, maybe some kind of something. They're just all heroes, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
No.
We all totally agree. But on a completely different note, right? Luke, Steve, start singing.
Start singing. What do you want to hear?
Oh, come on, Steve! You can get your decks out and see if you can start singing something.
How much of that wine have you drunk?
Remember whose show this is, right? You can disappear with the click of a button here if you.
Okay.
Speaking of disappearing, I think the fridge deserves a visit.
Right, okay. Steve, while you go to the fridge, think about the song you're going to sing.
I will never. What do you reckon? I will never sing a song.
Here's a question for you. What do you think Kayla's favourite song would be?
Oh my goodness. Set me free!
That's a good choice.
It is a good choice. Entrance. I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. How are you going to try and convince Steve for doing that?
You'll have to start I'm not convinced. Alison. You'll have to start them off, then we'll all join in.
Oh, come on. You know, Luke, at the end of the day, you have got the decks. You know all the songs. So you've now got to just...
I'm not a vocalist necessarily. I'm not, gifted in my tuneful voice. I don't consider that to be amongst my talents, I'm afraid. Steve's taking a really long time going to the fridge, isn't it?
You have many talents, so...
No, I don't blame him. He's trying to avoid the issue. He's trying to avoid the issue. He's not going to come back.
He is.
I am.
Yeah. Everyone's trying to avoid the issue.
And I'm going to...
and he's going to block me off any time now to say...
No, I'm not. I can just press mute. No, I just wanted to show this message from Ray because it's what we were talking about. And I suppose it's like what we were doing in the UK or in England, certainly, with the clapping for the NHS staff. In the US, people turn on blue lights in their porches in honour of COVID staff workers, which is a really nice idea, isn't it?
We clapped here in Ireland as well when you did the NHS clap. Yeah, we clapped.
We only did it for about 2 months, though, didn't we?
Back they did it 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
It
was nice though.
Yeah, it was.
Right,
I'm gonna.
You just missed that bit of conversation. That you and Luke are actually going to start singing something.
I'll tell you what we'll do, Alison, is when Steve and I finally are able to be in the same room in the pub, we'll have a skimful, and we'll on the way home we'll record us singing and send it to you.
Okay, you're buying. You need about 25 pints of
where the spoons it is.
Right, I think Luke, you're probably going to have to do several pints then.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, I'm gonna pop you ladies back in the green room because we want to get John on. He's been waiting for a little while.
Yeah,
so
no,
stop
that's
around
fine.
where you are, and maybe we'll have a sing song in a minute. It's great fun. John, hello.
Hey, John, buddy.
Hey, gentlemen. How's it
How
going?
you doing? Cheers.
I'll get my glass in there. My glass of water today, but
Oh no.
All good.
What do you want
Nice
that for?
I'm no fun. Steve knows that. So.
Oh, that's nonsense. One of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Oh.
How you guys doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Excellent. Luke, I keep trying to drag Steve's butt out here to Mineral de Pozos, where I live. We've got 500 years of history in the mines here, and all these beautiful old buildings and tunnels and places to hide stuff, and a great place to do a story in a small town. So maybe someday he'll think about that. So.
Nice. Whereabouts is that, John? Whereabouts is that?
I'm about 45 minutes north of Steve.
So, right, in Mexico as well. Yeah, it's not even that far then. He could probably get there on a bike.
Well, he could, yeah.
Or you could just come pick me up.
Yeah, there's that. So, it's a beautiful place for a story. So,
yeah. As I said earlier, John was instrumental in helping with the Jesus project, and so very grateful. I spoke to Jesus this morning, by the way. He took me to golf and brought me home from golf. And
good.
They're almost finished work on the. Just quick segue here. Sorry, Luke. Finished work on the kitchen, which the extra money from all the kind readers managed to almost finish the kitchen too. So I think this Sunday they're going to put the new roof on the kitchen. So that's awesome. That's great news. Yeah, it was pretty rough kitchen out there. So I'm sure they'll appreciate that too. I would like to raise a toast to all the readers that contributed the money to put it all together, and Steve for driving it. And that was a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun. So yeah, good on us, and good for Jesus, and thanks to everyone, as John said. Also,
I know what a great cause, to be, because it's quite often you see sort of charity things that people are running, and the charity is just like a logo that you're sure does good stuff with it. And I'm not criticizing charities, but it's nice that you see exactly the person. Do you know what I mean? It's got a real face and a real personality to it, hasn't it, in that sense? Yeah, very much so. I mean, for me, it was a real experience. I mean, I don't think any of us can appreciate, really what it's like to not have running water or a toilet or a shower or any of those things, and have a family, and not get the things we take for granted every day, and to see the look on the family's face and the smiles and quite frankly tears at one point. It was incredibly rewarding. And like I said, I want to raise a toast to everybody that was helped put it together, because that family totally appreciated it. So life changing. Life changing. Yep. So absolutely. And all we sit around doing is chatting and making up stuff, and we're able to help people. So what a cool way to do it. It is a good way to do it. So yeah. So you guys, my little critique to you is I want you to round out, so to speak, the picture that I get in my mind of Kayla when I'm reading the books. You don't touch a lot on her character, and I always try and picture in my mind. And maybe you're doing that on purpose so that I use my mind more to do it. That could be, but I'd like to see her a little more, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so. I mean, there's two questions there actually, and the first one is actually I think what you've said is bang on, in that I always try and leave visual descriptions of my main characters quite broad, because I want the reader to invent them in the way that they see them. I won't say that they're exactly what they're like. I'll allude to their family background or their hair color perhaps, but other than that, it's all left quite broad, because I want the reader to sort of do a bit of work. And I appreciate that. But we did have an image. We do have an image of what Kayla's like. She's quite attractive, blonde haired, physically quite tough. She's sporty and strong, and all of these sorts of things. But no, I don't think we describe her too much. And we certainly, well, whilst she is an attractive woman, I've tried not to sort of sexualize her too much in the books.
Sure.
We've tried not to sort of make her, you know, sometimes in some novels, if it's a female lead character or a female character at all, and maybe even a male character, but maybe because I'm a male, I notice it more in females, in that they're described in very sexualized terms. Do you know what I mean? Does that?
I do. Yeah.
And we've tried to keep it like that is, whilst in certain instances we describe the male characters being attracted to her, we haven't really described why they're attracted to her. So the reader has to sort of think, oh, that could be because of this or because of that, you know. And I think I
appreciate that. Yeah, I'll leave it up to my twisted mind to, you know, come up with a good picture. I'm sure I can.
It's something that I've learned, actually. I started out with my Hiram Caine books. Those were my first kind of proper mainstream books. And I tried too hard to explain everybody because I just thought that's what you should do. But I've learned since then it's actually better to leave it to the, as you said, reader's imagination, because then they're going to probably relate to the character more if it's the one they've formulated in their head. So I think that's the lesson that I've learned. And Luke started his writing career later than me, and he naturally did that. So I don't know where we learn these things about how to do stuff, but that is something I picked up in the last couple of years for sure.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Yeah, I like to get some little teasers here and there, and you guys have done some of that. It helps me develop a character, and then
we have our spreadsheets with our character details. We do have a picture of Kayla. We're not going to share it, but we have.
It would be wrong, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Basically, she's an Aussie beach bum surf girl. So, you know, she's kind of stereotypical, but not in a bad way. Like, she's just someone who grew up on the beach with a surfboard. So she's obviously fit, probably quite tanned. But other than that, you know, the rest is up to you.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah. We'll talk about Kayla, not me, by the way.
All right. Well, I'm not going to keep you guys too long, but since everybody's been talking about music, I thought I'd play just a real quick thing that I thought was appropriate to talk to Steve.
Give you more screen. Hold on. I can give you.
And I have not practiced this song, and I have no light here right at the moment. I can't really see my music, but let's see if we can get some going. What will you do with a drunken sailor? What will you do with a drunken sailor? What will you do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning. Chucking along the tail is over, chucking along the tail is over, chucking along the tail is over, early in the morning. Put him in there for the captain's daughter. Put him in there for the captain's daughter. Put him in there for the captain's daughter. Like way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
That was fantastic. That was so unexpected.
Made that better. Only one thing could have made that better. Turn drunken sailor into Stephen Taylor.
That's good. I'll remember that for the next version. So
where is
what
Stephen
can we do with the Stephen Taylor?
That was fantastic.
Hey, that was great. Thank you.
All right,
John,
thank you. There it is. Good to see you.
Yeah.
And Luke, mucho gusto. Nice to meet you. And I look forward. I haven't downloaded the book yet, but I will do so later today. So.
I'd love that. I'd love that. That was fantastic, John. Thank you. Oh wow! What a great little twist to the broadcast there. Yeah. Wow. Oh yeah, she is. Hello. Hi, Martha. How you doing?
Hey, Martha. Hello. Are they dancing ladies? Are they flamenco dancers or something on the emojis?
I'm not sure.
Can't tell.
Maybe. She's showing. She's doing. That's the sort of dancing she's expecting from us. And Alison says Steve needs to get his guitar out. She's not going to let this go now.
It's my guitar. I have one guitar. It's in the UK in storage. It's about 10,000 miles away. So
yeah, it's not happening today.
Not today. Thanks, Martha.
Says she's good. Congratulations. Thank you.
Do we have any guys in the comments who would like to ask another question for us? Because we are here to discuss the book, I suppose, but not that really anymore.
And anyone else would like to ask a question, or anyone that would like to come and join us. You don't have to sing an instrument, although you can if you want.
Andrew, Ray, guys, any questions for us?
Yeah. If you want to do that. We're obviously celebrating Set Them Free because this has become a little bit, this is the second time we've done a sort of launch party like this. Did we do one for Set Him Free? I think we might have done. I can't remember though.
We might have done, yeah. I feel like this is it's not our second rodeo, it's probably our third.
Yeah, so it's become a little bit of a tradition to do one of these extended Friday night, sessions. But this is the first time we've invited other people on, and so far it's been great fun actually. It's been really cool. Leslie's just dropped a message to say she's got to get back to work. So, but thank you so much for joining us, Leslie, and thank you for bringing Charles on as well.
Chat later.
And Nick has asked a question. How did you choose or structure the number of chapters in the book? Oh, good question.
Allow me, I'll answer that. We have found that kind of natural. Luke's style is to write short, punchy chapters. The benchmark for thrillers is usually about 1,000 words. So our books are fairly kind of short, 50, 60,000 words, so 50, 60 chapters. But actually, it's good to mix it up. From a reader's point of view, if you've just got one page and then it's a new chapter, it's too many. And if you've got dialogues, it's like monologues or whatever it is. What's the word, Luke? Information dumps.
That's the term. Yeah.
If it's 10 pages in a row with no break, that's too long. So much better to mix it up from a reader's point of view. But I think we do that naturally anyway. It's also good to finish each chapter on a kind of mini hook or a cliffhanger. Excuse me. So you guys keep turning the pages. So it's not that much of a difficult process. It just kind of comes naturally. I think we're both quite good at that naturally. So
yeah, and I think that sort of made stronger by the fact that we interweave various different storylines. So you might have 1,000 words of storyline A, and then 1,000 words of storyline B, and then 200 words of storyline C, and then back to what A, and so on and so forth, and the way through. But I don't think we ever discussed that, did we? We just sort of planned it. And I do remember in the plan, we were like, this one, a bit of this, a bit of this, a bit. We were we knew what each sort of chapter would be.
Could you explain what storyline A and storyline B might be, for example? Storyline A, I'll say storyline A is obviously Kayla is trying to save the kidnapped kids, basically. But what might storyline B be in this case?
So set them free. Will you set you free actually? Because it's the clearest in my mind, and I think more people have probably read it on the call because this one's only just come out. So storyline A is obviously Kayla arriving in the airport. Storyline B is then the guy in the car going around getting the kids, and then storyline C is O'Shea doing his thing. And for the first 2/3 of the book, or even probably half to 2/3, they're independent of each other. They don't connect really. If you read carefully, you could see how they're connecting, but as a first time reader, you probably wouldn't. And then at about the halfway point or 2/3 point, they start to sort of come together, and you see how. And then the final third of the book is just one narrative because they're all combined. Most often, that's the way it sort of works. Because those threads have sort of knotted together.
Yeah, well answered. And actually, that's something else I've learned as I've got more and more books under my belt. When I started out, I didn't know any of this stuff. Like, you need to have these second stories, third stories that interweave in later. You do it naturally because, like, let's say Hiram Cain, like the main story is Hiram Cain is going after the lost city or whatever it is, or the kidnapped kid or something. But then, without realizing, you've got the gangster, the bad guy's story, and how did he become this thing? And you do them naturally, but it's better to have them clear in your minds before you start. And I think Luke's helped me with that. So I'm learning stuff.
But what I would find is that often the story doesn't appear to me in the way that that someone might read it. So what I will do is I will write all of storyline A in the various chapters, and then go through and put B in, the second one in afterwards. So I won't write it A, B, A, B, A, B, or whatever. I'll write one and then the other and then the third one, just because then you've got that thread in your mind. You're writing one perspective for a week, and then you move on and write the other perspective for a week or so, or something like that. That's the way I've sort of worked for it anyway. Yeah.
No, it's interesting. And here's the thing, like, we're all writers. There's another great writer just joined in the group, DC. Hey, mate.
Yes, let's put that up. Yeah. Hello, mate. How are you doing?
Cheers, bud. But, but we all have our own ways. None of us have, as far as I know, none of us have gone to fiction writing school. We just happen to have stories within us that we need. And
even if you did, they'd teach you it in one way that wasn't necessarily right.
They'd probably teach you in a crap way as well.
Well, not necessarily a crap way. There's good. I'm sure there are good ones, but anyway, like
stick to the program. Yeah. We're better. No, but before I met Luke, I read a couple of his books, but I had no idea what his process was. So and we found out that our process is quite different. But working together, it seems to work very well. I don't know DC's. I don't know his process, but I know he's a fantastic writer.
Yeah, let us know, DC, if you've got a bit of time, if you're stopping by for a while.
DC, maybe would you like to join in the conversation? You can come into the studio.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you fancy it. If you're not, some people are just on the phone whilst they're cooking or driving, whatever. Fine, But if you've got a moment, it'd be lovely to have a chat. And Andrew's got a question relating to that, actually, relating to what we're talking about.
I'll send DC.
So in Set Them Free. In fairness, if you answer that, Steve, I'll do that.
Yeah, just sending DC.
Oh, you're doing it. All right, cool.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, Andrew. So Andrew says, I've enjoyed the countdown to the event in Set Them Free because we've messed around with the timeline even more in Set Them Free, in that the event is like the center point of the novel, but yet we do that. We start it at the event and then count down towards it, and it's quite a common thing in movies and films and TV. You see them using that technique, and I really like it because you're straight into the action, and then you're pulled out of the action, and then they explain what was happening to build up to that. And the reason I thought that was a good idea, Andrew, is because because this book is a bit of a mystery, because Kayla is looking for O'Shea for most of the book, and I'm trying not to give any spoilers here, because it's a bit of a mystery. We were a little bit worried that the first half of the book, she was just looking for someone, and that's not a thriller. So we needed it to be a thriller, not a mystery. So we were very clear that we wanted to put that bit in at the start that's very thriller-esque, an aeroplane doing this, whatever. I'm not giving away, try not to give away too much, and then sort of counting down to that. So it clearly sort of makes it, in the thriller genre rather than sound like a mystery. So that's the reason we did that, to sort of fit where we want.
And I agree. I think it's worked very well. When I set out the premise for this story, I had no idea about doing that. That wasn't something I'd thought about. But Luke really came to the table with that, and it's a great idea, and I think it works really well. And that does mean it's a bit more complicated to write, to get everything in order, make sure everything's on the right timeline, going back and forth. It's tough to do, but it's worth it because it just brings a little something extra.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I agree with you. I like the way
readers, you can give Luke all the credit for that one.
I know, it's one of those where I was like, I think we need to do it like this, and I think in the first book, Steve, when I had not an issue like that, when I had an idea like that, I'd say, oh, let's have a chat about this, and we'd have a conversation and discuss it. But by the second book, I just did it and thought, I'll do it, and if you don't like it, you'll take it out later anyway, so it doesn't matter. I might as well just go with what I think is best. And invariably, most of the times, you've gone, oh yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah. because that's just the way, I suppose, because we both have sort of grown up as writers, reading the same things and knowing what makes a good story, that what makes a good story to me makes a good story to you.
Doesn't matter how good I think I might be at writing, or what my reviews say. It doesn't matter. If someone's got a better idea, well, naturally, we'll just go with the better idea. And I think it's a collaboration. We both, I'm going to say it's 50-50. We put all of our best stuff on the table, and we've turned out a couple of good books. So,
yeah, absolutely. Alison says, without spoilers, O'Shea has a bad woman in this book. How did you come up with the character? Oh, interesting. Yeah, Bridget the clerk. Yeah, she's a great character. I enjoyed writing her. I think she was of your invention, actually, Steve. Or certainly, I remember us discussing her.
I'll claim credit for that if I can get it.
Because she's a little bit sexy and fierce. She's almost like Kayla's opposite, isn't she? Because she's. I mean, there's similarities between them. Certainly,
I think there's the way I see Bridget and Kayla's relationship, which they don't have just their battle. Kayla's half Bridget's age. Bridget was once Kayla, and now is jealous of Kayla because she's this young, feisty. And in the end, it's like who wins out of their little private battle. That's kind of another small side story thrown into that's probably story E or F.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And they have their own duel, and it's a great couple of scenes there with those two, which I really enjoy. So, I mean, she's not like the first character. She's not the main protagonist or the second. She's probably only about the third or fourth main person in the story, but her role is super important. Yeah, she's O'Shea's right-hand woman. But actually, she's a great character by herself. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but
she is a great character by herself. Actually,
there will be no spin-off with Bridget the Clerk.
There could be like a prequel, though, couldn't there? She could appear in another book in a different way, because she is that sort of character that I think.
Luke's giving me a look there that I think I've said too much, but
she was quite well formed. She was quite well thought out character.
Yeah. Guys, who does tend collaboration work?
I'm not sure what that means.
Can you
what do you mean, Alison?
Define your question a bit better, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we'll do about another 15 minutes, so we'll get to about 2 hours, I reckon, for the party.
I'm going to be sat at my desk drinking all afternoon, so I'm here for the duration if anyone wants to watch. Ray has asked, did you think Bridget's end was a bit weak, not giving away?
I don't think he's asking. I think he's telling us that he didn't like the way she ended. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
No, but Ray could mean, should she have done better?
Yes, maybe.
I don't think Ray would publicly call us out for weak storytelling. Would you, Ray?
Well, where it's due. If he wants to, that's fine. I can take criticism. I don't think he would. No, you're right. He's a good guy.
I think he means Ray. Just confirm. Do you mean should she have done better?
Yeah, because she. Anyway, I think we're on the process of we're close to sort of giving away a key bit here, aren't we? Yeah. Yes, it was an abrupt end rather than maybe it should have been in more detail. Yeah, I can understand that.
But we had a target of words, and we reached them. And if we'd have gone on any longer, that would have been beyond what we wanted to write. So
I think that's it, isn't it? But there's always room for, nothing's perfect, is it? In those ways,
we accept constructive criticism almost as well as we expect.
I do. Steve's less good at it. Steve doesn't like it quite so much.
I'm older. I can be how I want.
Yeah, basically.
I'm not sure about Alison's next comment either.
No, should we have Alison on screen to explain what she's on about?
Yeah.
You fancy that, Alison? Yeah, she's ready. All right, let's do it. Here she comes. Back again. Third appearance.
Hi guys. Wow, I wasn't expecting that again. But yeah, hello.
She definitely needs a name in the next book.
Yes. I think with Kayla, she's absolutely fantastic. But her sidekick,
Nilza.
Yes, I think she needs to have a little bit more, I don't know, more things going on. I think that'd be absolutely fantastic.
The problem is with Nilza, she is very culturally restricted because she's from Dubai, and the next book is in San Francisco, and just because of where she is in her life at the moment, she's not really. We don't think she's going to be able to go to San Francisco, but perhaps.
Sorry.
I certainly think.
Yeah, I know what you're saying is that she's very restricted of where she is, and I think maybe there might be, obviously not in the next book, maybe.
Yeah.
Certain things on that she could be actually be able to fly somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would love for her to be in one of our future stories. I think she'd make a great.
Well, she could even.
You could meet her. You could meet her 2 or 3 years down the line when she's set up her website, her blog. Maybe she's become quite a sort of activist for whatever in that region, or maybe she's left somewhere else. She's gone to a different place so she can criticize the establishment more effectively. And that could become a really interesting sort of plot, couldn't it, if that was the case?
Yeah, I'll definitely bear that in mind. Quick shout out, Nilza. That's another name I've stolen from a friend of mine in, I think, Luke, you know Nilza, don't you?
Yeah.
Nilza's a friend of mine in London, writer friend in London. So we just stole her name too. I don't know if she's watching. Nilza, are you there? Are you around? I know she likes a drink.
She may do afterwards. In fact, I have met Nilza. Yeah. And it's funny how you do bring names from sort of the real world, don't you? And
it's just a good catchy name. Not exactly correct for that geography for the location, but doesn't matter.
Yeah.
On a completely different note, you guys.
No singing.
Okay, there is no singing. I am not going to ask you to sing, even though that would be fantastic. Right, both of you, are you doing any? I think, Steve, didn't you mention you were coming to Europe over the next couple of weeks? And also, Luke, are you planning to do any book signings or anything soon over in the UK?
Well, I mean, I'm in the UK presently. What do you mean by that? I don't.
Well, Harrogate is obviously coming up in the next couple of weeks.
The problem is with those things, you need to get invited to those things, and Luke and I aren't at that point yet where we get invited to go to those kinds of events. So,
seriously? Right, okay.
Yeah,
I got an invite, but I'm not going.
I'll have yours then. I'll have yours.
Mainly because it's in Yorkshire, and there's lots of deaths in Yorkshire. So if you want to actually do a thing in Yorkshire, but no,
I mean, it would be
Luke, you
nice
are in
to
the
do.
UK, so any type of, I don't know, book signings or something. And obviously, Steve, you're coming into Europe, or?
Well, as I said, I was supposed to be there now, but because of all my flight cancellations, I've decided not to come this year. Probably, I'm probably going to come next spring to the UK, but probably for quite a long stretch, probably for 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love to have a fan event of some kind of thing where we can meet up. Yeah, meet up, have some kind of. Luke and I will have 4 or 5 books out then. I'll have my own books. Luke has his own books. So perhaps we can have a kind of a dual event, or maybe get a couple of our other writer friends so we could all, maybe DC, people like DC and Jerry and, some of our Stephen Taylor, some of our good writer friends, Ken. Perhaps we could have a big event where we can all just invite 100 people and maybe 7 will turn up and we could do something.
I think that would be really good fun. Like a
that's the way you just said 7 people will turn up. I hope that's authors, not
Yeah, we'll have a great time anyway. Little writers' conference. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Right, Alison, we're gonna say goodbye to you because we're gonna wrap up for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for stopping around and coming on the stream with us. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely loved it. Thank you so much.
We will do. Oh, DC's just said on another note. He's just said count me in for the event, so he'll be there if we do a live books and beer event or whatever we might call it. Yeah, Alison, thank you. Fiona, I can see you're there as well. We will invite you again for the next live stream. Cheers, and it's such a good idea to just have people on talking with us, isn't it? What a great like.
I've got loads of good ideas, mate.
Yeah. I mean, you just sprung that. You just sprung that on Wednesday night, whatever time it was, when we were chatting, and I was like, "Hey, okay, we can do that."
Ideas,
really well.
Execution of ideas—that's my weakness. But there you go.
No, it's worked really well. We've had some good people. Yeah, it's been great fun. So DC also asked what's next for you guys, which gives us a good indication. I know we have said this already, but people do tune in and out of these all the time. So in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the third book in the Kayla Stone series is planning on being released. Have we put it up for pre-order already?
Yeah, I think it is officially for pre-order in the back of Set Them Free. I think we said something like the 23rd. It will be the Friday that's 4 weeks from now, whatever that date is. I can't remember.
Let me have a quick look because I can probably do a link for us whilst we're talking. And talk through, Steve, a little bit about that book. In fact, I can probably read the blurb. I can find it.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Do you mean talk through Set Me Free?
So Set Me Free. So this is the third in the series.
Yeah. So it's kind of the denouement of the original premise that we came up with. There are some resolutions where Natalie. This is a tough one to explain without spoilers because there's so many crucial twists that bring things back around again. But Kayla goes to San Francisco on the trail of her nemesis O'Shea, and there are some very surprising revealments that take things back to a previous time. So there's a lot of backstory of O'Shea, which is great. A lot of Kayla's origin story, I suppose, and some more. O'Shea is in book 3, Set Me Free, more than he's in any other book, I think.
Yeah.
It's almost like Kayla Stone is the main protagonist of the series, but actually, book 3, Set Me Free. The question is, who is that about? Could that be? Is that Kayla? Is that O'Shea? So it's almost like a culmination of both of their histories colliding all at once. But we don't think that's going to be the end. So that's about all I can say without giving anything away, really.
No, I like it. It's not appeared on Amazon page yet here, so don't look for it right now if you're watching this live. I think maybe it's still going through the system, but the back end of their website. But it will be up soon, and I will certainly put that in my newsletter of next week and say you can pre-order Set Me Free now. I think even though we had a bit of annoying experience with pre-orders this time, it's probably still worth doing. Hopefully that won't happen again.
Yeah, I think, but this will be the last one because there's just no need. I think
for the pre-order system.
After Set Me Free, I think that will be the last pre-order. It's almost not worth it, really.
Yeah, because at that point we don't know when the next one's going to come because we haven't even started it yet. Whereas these three we planned to release in very quick succession, didn't we?
Yeah, we're going to probably need a bit of a break for our other work, other projects.
Yeah, and there'll be a box set and all the other things that we intend to do on there.
Audio will be coming.
All of this other catching up sort of stuff we need to do. Yeah, so Ray's just checked it's not on the US store either. So we'll I
like Fiona's inadvertent offer of a name for the next one character in the next book, Dan Francisco. I like it.
Dan Francisco, love it. Oh, Alison's just said giveaways. What? Oh yeah, we haven't done any giveaways, have we?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
That was Steve's thing though, Alison. I'm not taking any responsibility for this, so maybe Steve will bring it upon himself. I'll tell you what Steve's going to do. He will decide. He will go through the comments and think of the people that have been on live and decide for a couple of those people who contributed to the show.
Or perhaps we'll have
some merch.
Sometime next week we'll have an after show launch party. Then we'll start again and do the merchandise. I just wanted to ask what people like. What do people like for merchandise? We've offered mugs and obviously signed books, but what else do people like? I know Alison said about a swag bag. That's kind of fun. Those are the things we can do. But put some stuff in the comments of the kinds of things you'd like, and we can see what we can offer up.
Because you can do all sorts of stuff, don't we? We talked about last time.
Actually, do anything. I've got my mate Terry working on. Yeah, Fiona says Zazzle. Got my mate Terry working on some art for the Hiram Cain series. Terry, if you're listening, hurry up. It's been too long.
What sort of art? What do you mean?
He's doing an original piece with Hiram Cain in front of a temple in Bali. So for Tiger Temple. So, but yeah, Terry, pull your finger out. Come on, mate.
That's such a lovely idea.
So we'll see. And that could be something that there'll be an original, obviously, and then we can do some prints and maybe sign those. And anything's possible.
Yeah, such a great idea. So no, we'll have a think about that, and we'll work that out in the interim for sure. Right. We've almost done 2 hours. What a great party. Thank you so much for tuning in, for joining us. This has been brilliant. If you're watching this and you haven't yet bought Set Them Free, we've got to say, because there might be, you might not have, we'd love you to do it. You know, don't just take our word for it. There's been a dozen people on this call that have read it and have talked about it and talked about the things they've loved. So I hope by this point you're thinking, right, I really need to do that. If you've never heard of any of our books at all, you can get Set Him Free for free, can't you? And you can get that from Steve's website and from my website. And mine's LukeRichardsonAuthor.com, and I think yours is just StephenMooreAuthor.com, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Luke, is there anything? Do we have time for you to read the blurb out before we?
Yeah, I can do that. I'd have to find it. It might take a moment. Set Them Free. Here it is. We should have done this at the start, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I blame you.
That would have been the professional thing.
John,
it's getting a bit dark here. Can you see? I need to put a light on in the house.
Fiona, I agree. I love this gang too. Thank you, Fiona, for saying so. I agree with you. It's a lovely group, and I I know you guys love a load of authors. You love a load of authors, but we love them too. We're readers too, so we're all part of the same reader community. But we just happen to write a few books of our own. So yeah. Bookmarks, Andrew says, great idea. Who doesn't love a bookmark? Kayla Stone bookmarks, sure, could be done. I'm sure Luke would put together a couple of Leo and Alyssa bookmarks. I'll do Hiram Kane bookmarks. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. I like that. Right, here's the blurb. Set them free. Kayla Stone heads to Dubai with one thing on her mind: justice. But when the glimmering Arabian lights refuse to part with their secrets, Kayla must cross into the city's dark side. Attempting to bring down a global effort to kidnap and sell children, Kayla vows to stop the criminals in their tracks. This time the stakes are higher. This time even more lives are on the line. This time Kayla's fighting in unfamiliar territory. In an attempt to silence her own demons and bring down the Enterprise, Kayla follows a dark, twisting trail from the crystalline villas of the Palm to a disused oil refinery in the harsh desert. Can she stop the trade before it's too late? Or, in the desert land where death, deceit and dirhams are the currency, will she become just another sale? So there we go. And that's on Amazon now. It's in Kindle Unlimited, I believe. And yeah, you can get it, you can read it, and you can enjoy it immediately. Thank you if you have already. And just to confirm, it's still on discount price. Amazon messed up our pre-order, so still on the pre-order discount price of, I think, $2.99, £1.99. $3. Yeah.
Bargain.
That's it. It is a bargain. It is a bargain. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again. I will see you for Books and Beer on Wednesday. I'm not quite sure how it's going to happen on Wednesday because I'm travelling from here to my parents' house in Sussex, and I'm not sure I'll be there by 5 o'clock. So, but I will do something at 5 o'clock. But it might just be me on my phone in a pub.
You're in a can of Stella on the train.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It might just be me on the beach, on the seafront, whatever. But I'll be here, and it'll just be a solo one. It might be a short one because I'll be out and about, but it'll be good to have a catch up all the same. And I've done a lot of ones with guests and other people, so it'll be nice to just have a bit of a solo chat. So yeah, and make sure you're in for that if that's your thing.
It is. I'll be there as a guest.
Cool. Thank you so much. Thanks, love.
Everybody.
Enjoy the book. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again very, very soon.
Bye, guys.